Wacken Open Air, the biggest, most legendary metal festival in the entire world. For one weekend every year, the quiet, humble cow farm town of Wacken, Germany is invaded by 80,000 metalheads and morphed into the loudest, heaviest, muddiest, most insanely intoxicated party on the planet. Known as the Holy Land of Metal, Wacken is a pilgrimage for metal fans worldwide, who spend all year slaving away at their jobs, just yearning to be standing hungover in the rain in a muddy cow field watching Iron Maiden. I've done festival guides for several metal festivals on this channel now, yet for some reason I hadn't done one on Wacken till now. Well, let's change that. Today I present to you the Wacken Open Air Festival Guide. This video will show you everything you need to know on what Wacken is, what it's actually like to be there, and how you can attend the Holy Land yourself. So headbang the like button, stage dive onto the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. And if you're a fan of the channel, consider becoming a member. Memberships only cost 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my lifelong goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. And now let's go to Wacken Open Air. When I say Wacken is the biggest metal festival, I am not kidding. Look at this view. All of that is Wacken. It's like when Wormtongue walks out with Saruman and sees the full Uruk-hai army. God damn. Over 200 bands perform on 8 stages spread across this metallic mecca that somehow manages to fit in many other chaotic activities as well, such as drinking, and wrestling, and comedy, and drinking, and Viking battles, and pyro shows, and hot dancers, and drinking, and wasteland warriors, and drinking, on top of all of the other wacky metal shenanigans you'll find in the campground. Wacken is so large with so much to offer, one could easily have the most insane, wild day of their life without even seeing any of the bands. That said, this is a place where fans of every subgenre can fill their palate. When it started, Wacken was a small festival that featured classic heavy metal bands like Saxon and Raven. But as the metal family tree grew larger over the years, the festival also became a welcoming place for the most brutal and blasphemous bands, as well as the silliest and most ridiculous. If it's loud, it's welcome. For many years, Wacken was the place where an up-and-coming metal band could have the chance to play the biggest shows of their lives to a global audience. A metal band performing an incredible set at Wacken could easily become metal history and be bootlegged and downloaded for thousands to bask in its epic metalness. Something I really appreciate about Wacken is that while it does give new bands a massive opportunity, it's always paid respect and honored the legends who paved the way. It's a place where legends of a different time are still revered as rock stars and heavy metal royalty. A band that may not be at the height of their popularity in the normal charts can step on stage at Wacken and be overwhelmed with love, admiration, and shouting from drunk Germans.
This genre of music will book status quo, and at some point this afternoon I'm going to be going la la like la 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 la, and before us there's and after us and I don't know why we're here, but I'm very grateful to be
here at Wacken. You can go watch all of your favorite death and black metal bands while your dad watches the classic heavy metal bands he grew up with, while your brother walks around shirtless with a beer mug stuck on his head trying to pick up the Wasteland Warrior ladies. Then all three of you meet up later on for a bratwurst, Franziskaner, and the Scorpions' 12th farewell tour. Here I am! Again. Another very great feature of Wacken is most of the bands actually get to play full sets, where most metal festivals will relegate even well-known bands to a mere 25-minute set. The majority of bands here at Wacken play 45 minutes or more. Most of the bands on the 2 main stages will play for at least an hour, which is really nice to actually get to enjoy a band's full show, rather than the 5 main hits before you have to run off to the next stage. Sick new world. I know I've made a lot of jokes already about people here drinking a lot, but seriously, people at Wacken drink a lot. So much that a few years ago, Wacken actually installed an underground beer pipeline throughout the festival, because priorities.
This innovative dispenser has created added value for the consumers. They now get good quality beer much faster.
I remember when this was announced and we all thought it was the funniest thing ever. Aside from people drinking just everywhere, there is a Wacken beer garden located near the main stage entrance. This is for the pub homebodies and the wasted singers who could spend all day laughing and drinking. It's a good spot. This area features a small stage where brass, folk, and party lounge musicians perform classic drunken German sing-alongs. Das ist wunderbar! But if for some weird reason you came to the metal festival for metal, then you will be spending most of your time at one of the many stages scattered throughout the land. The main area being the enormous, faster and harder stages, which switch off between one band playing and one setting up. So it's never a dull moment over here. In fact, sometimes for very special shows, they'll use both stages at the same time. Like when Sabaton played one year with both their current lineup on one stage and their former members on the other at the same time. I would have liked to have seen that. Needless to say, this is where the most jaw-dropping performances of Wacken take place. Nearby is also the louder stage, a slightly smaller but still very big stage where you can see great headline sets from some of the more underground bands. Then the Headbanger stage and Wet stage are located in the activities area. These stages offer a mix of wild performances from smaller acts. Then we have the Wackenger stage in the medieval village. Yes, there is a medieval village at Wacken, where Renaissance cosplayers can frolic to folk tunes to their heart's delight. And not far from that is the Wasteland stage, located in the Fallout looking area, complete with fire performers, sexy dancers, badass cars, and weird shit. Now if you're seeing all this and you're thinking to yourself, I'm not impressed, I could use more stages. Oh, don't worry, these are just the official stages. Throughout the massive campground of the festival, and especially throughout the actual village of Wacken, are plenty of DIY stages featuring local bands and small unsigned acts performing for the people. So even if you're in a band and you can't play at Wacken, you could still play in Wacken. The actual town of Wacken is a lovely little charming place, straight out of an old German fairy tale that welcomes the horde of hairy barbarians with open arms and bar tabs. A headbanger could come to the town of Wacken without even going to the actual festival and still have a blast, watching bands in people's front yards and garages while buying delicious homemade food from the locals. I know there is a lot going on at all times here, but anyone attending the festival should take some time to check out the local offerings. That said, once you get set up in the campground, you really don't have to leave for any reason. Most of what you see here is camping, and given that it's the size of some countries, that campground has been developed over the years to have its own market, so you can restock on all the essential supplies. The campground also features toilets, from disgusting porta potties to actual decent toilets, and camp showers, which kinda won't matter because you'll probably be covered in mud the entire time. The camp in the Wackenger village offer tons and tons and tons of food vendors, with everything from vegan options to roasted pig that was probably killed an hour ago. Plus whatever crazy concoctions all the campers offer to whatever would-be victim friends. A great feature of Wacken is camping is included with your ticket. No extra charge just to be allowed the privilege of sleeping on the ground. Take notes, American festivals. As you can see, the campground is massive. So it is sectioned into different areas, which is nice, but you'll likely still get lost or just distracted by some hilarious belligerent temptation. You will definitely want to wander around the campground here and discover the most hilarious insanity of the metal savages. People at Wacken are super friendly. It's very easy to make friends here, as it is at most festivals, but Wacken holds a special place in so many people's hearts that once they arrive, it's treated as a giant family reunion. People you're meeting for the first time, by the last day, will feel like your best friends, and will tell you how excited they are to see you next year. After one weekend in Germany, you'll have awesome new metal friends all across the globe. It's a pretty awesome experience to be walking through a German cow field and meet people from Australia, Sweden, Taiwan, Mexico, Brazil, Iceland, Africa, Saudi Arabia. Hell, I bet somewhere down there's a metalhead from Antarctica. Throughout the world, Wacken is worshipped as heavy metal heaven, as bands and fans dream of one day attending. No shit, before I ever went here, I would literally have dreams of being at Wacken, and you'll find many people saying the exact same thing. The Wacken Festival is also very welcoming to new international artists, and every year hosts the Wacken Metal Battle, a battle of the bands type competition where the winner from each region will get to perform at Wacken, offering a massive opportunity for new bands. I think it's safe to say almost every metal musician out there has the goal of stepping on stage to this massive crowd and screaming, "What's up, Wacken?" How amazing does this all look? Are you blown away yet? Are you excited? Are you anticipating going yourself? Alright, cool. Let's talk about some downsides. Because nothing in life is perfect, including Wacken. The first first, biggest, and most problematic issue, as you can probably tell from these clips, is the mud. Now, to be clear, it does not always rain at Wacken, and when it's sunny, there are no problems at all. It's great. But when it does rain, holy shit. The worst rain I've ever seen in my life was at Wacken. It's unfortunately such a reoccurring problem that it's become synonymous with the festival itself. A little rain at a festival can be fine and a minor issue, but when it's torrential downpour for 3 days and you have to hike an hour through knee-high mud to get to each stage, it sucks balls. The Wacken workers do the best they can. They are actually extremely well organized and hardworking, but there are some years where the rain at Wacken is just biblical, and nothing short of a metallic arc could save the campers. The festival continues, rain or shine, and some metalheads choose to make the best of a wet situation. That, or they're so wasted they don't even realize it's raining. Some people, a lot of Germans actually, like the mud of Wacken and consider it part of the charm. I don't know what the hell is wrong with those people, but hey, more power to them. But if you're someone like me, you probably don't really want to spend all year planning for your dream of Wacken to finally come true, only to be soaking wet, freezing, covered in mud, and broke. Or even worse, not getting in at all because of the rain. The first year I attended Wacken, it was amazing. It only rained a little bit, wasn't a problem, and then I returned the next year and it was a torrential downpour. The only real planning you can do for this is to bring very waterproof clothing and supplies, but even then, you're dealing with camping, walking, and headbanging in this the entire time. I really wish there was some better way for Wacken to handle this. I'm not blaming them for it at all, it sucks. But I don't know, man. Make a giant drone umbrella to fly it over the festival or something. But no matter if it is pissing rain or bright and sunny, one thing you can't avoid is just how big this place is. If you arrive early, you can set up camp closer, but if you end up at one of these back areas here, you're definitely going to want to avoid going back and forth as much as possible. With its size, you're pretty much always going to be in a massive crowd, and sometimes you'll be stuck farther away from the band than you'd like. A pretty normal issue at any major festival, but it's still something to remember. Aside from that, really, there aren't any big concerns. The rain can be such a massive problem, but if the weather's good, everything at the festival runs smoothly. The Wacken team are very professional and have been doing this for some 25 years now, so when it comes to running a festival, they know what they're doing. Most things one could think of to better a festival are going to already be here and actually work. It's nice to see a major metal festival have competence and be ran professionally. With all of that being said, if you would like to attend Wacken Open Air, then good luck. Tickets sell out faster than politicians do, with such a massive devoted fan base anticipating buying tickets every year. To buy a ticket for Wacken, you have got to be on the website at the exact moment that they go on sale. If you sneeze, you will miss it. Wacken sells out every single year without fail before any bands are announced. That's how devoted the headbangers are. A much easier way to buy tickets for Wacken is through their travel partners. There are a few bus companies that will have tickets available after it sells out as part of a package deal, meaning that you pay a lot extra for your ticket, but you also pay for the bus journey and possibly a hotel. It's a lot more expensive than just purchasing a standard ticket, but when it's already sold out, this is the best way to go. It's also very handy if you're traveling from a different city in Europe and want to take the thought out of all of your travel. In order to get to the holy metal cow field of Wacken Open Air, the closest major city is Hamburg, Germany. This is where you'll want to fly in at. The Wacken bus service should be pretty easy to find once you're there. Just follow all the black shirts. If you're arriving by train, Wacken actually has their own metal train, starting in Munich, picking up exclusively headbangers for the best metal party on the tracks. Or if you just want to take a normal train, you'll need to get yourself to Itzo, where more of the Wacken buses will be waiting. And like I said before, the Wacken bus packages pick up from cities all across Europe and will drive you straight to the festival and back. Honestly, it is kind of hard to miss. Just get yourself to Germany and follow the shouting people with long hair. You'll get there eventually. Wacken is much more than just another big metal festival. It's a historic monument of metal's legacy. It's the culmination of thousands of fans expressing their love and passion for heavy metal and its influence in their lives. To many, it doesn't even matter what bands are playing anymore. It's about the entire experience. The music, the friends they only get to see once a year, the freedom they get for one weekend away from their normal lives, and the awesome power power of the extreme. If you are a metalhead, it is definitely a pilgrimage you must experience. Just don't forget your rain boots. Have you ever been to Wacken Open Air? Are you dying to attend it for the first time? Or have you gotten to perform at Wacken? Let me know in the comments below. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. Subscribe to my second channel, Why It's Metal Podcast Clips, where I'll be uploading segments from my live podcast and podcasts that I do guest appearances on. We've got merch available for the channel and for the band. Now you can get Why It's Metal t-shirts, Savior of Metal hats, Dark Insanity t-shirts, Dark Insanity weed bags. We've got everything. Links for all of my stuff can be found in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.